mates, and welcome to PATHCO.
Shut up, Jack.
Die already. Oh,
You've
bloody
missed
courier.
this. You've missed this, haven't you?
I have missed this. I have especially missed the courier.
Who hasn't?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the hopefully courierless as soon as possible world of PATHCO. Would any of you? It's been a while. It's been a while since we could last play a team because of a lot of hiatuses for various reasons, people being away, and so on and so forth. Would any of you like to remind us all what happened last time?
We went to Megaferg.
Well,
Then it
Velgen
turns
Raft.
out that you can't rent a griffin like you can an Uber. People get
No.
very offended if you say
no,
that.
I believe there was a religious connotation regarding the griffins. So Sigmund nearly got arrested, I guess, sort of. But that's fine.
Dave got drunk.
Oh, yeah.
Remember
I
Oh,
got
that was
drunk
the
and I
best
headbutted
part.
someone in the
Blew
crotch.
like a guy's ass.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
that was pretty fantastic.
Yeah, I rolled really well.
So I think in the meta sense, in this kind of journey that we're going on, we kind of wrapped up the boating portion. We stopped off in the name of I forget the name of the town, Mon.
Well,
Black
you've stopped
something.
off at like a nondescript.
I mean the big one we were at where we were having a lot of the
Where we're
fights
actually-
and such.
Where we're actually going, I think.
Oh, right. Well, you had the pub fights and such in Welgenrath.
Welgenrath, yeah. So we
I thought
finished
there
up
was
in
an M involved.
we finished up in Welgenrath. We completely justified the faith that Montbec has in us as professional listeners.
Oh, poor Montbec.
He tries so hard, and we really don't.
I feel really bad. But
Look, he's been he knows what to expect. He's been with Sigmund for like some time now. This should not be a surprise to him. Yeah, so we finished up there. We had some fun stuff in a pub. I believe Thyra had some conversations in one of the more religious aspects of it.
Yep, I flirted with a priest.
That is Thyra never change.
I did it, guys.
And yeah, we kind of wrapped up. We had a good time. We went into the pub stuff from there, and we kind of progressed along our journey. And I think that we were at the point where we were starting to have a land kind of trip.
Indeed.
And Sigmund had some more weird dreams
Oh,
about his alcoholism, frankly. And yeah, I believe that meta plot is ongoing.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, you guys have arrived at this place at the shoreline where you will be disembarking and traveling towards your destination, towards Blackwater, by carriage, because Rosemary's carriage has been taken on board with the ship, and she will now take you the last part of the journey. I think that I recall that there was something that we hadn't wrapped up yet, and I think that it had to do with Dave and Aveline.
yeah, I got her the book about sorcery and stuff, and I wanted to give it to her.
Right.
But then I got
Okay.
drunk. So once I'm not drunk anymore, I'll do that.
Yes. Well, yeah, the last part of the journey has been a while, so you definitely would have had time to give it to her. How do you think you would have it presented?
Probably not like, wrapped up in anything special, like brown paper, maybe. Whatever it came in. And I guess we talk sort of in the evenings, because she's not around much during the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I would So, hey, I got this for you. I know that it's kind of hard to learn magic stuff when no one's teaching it to you, but maybe this will help.
Oh, oh wow, thanks. That's really kind of you. Where did you buy this?
I got it when I was in Wagonrath. I can't remember the name of the shop now. It was pretty cool though.
Oh, well, okay, wow. Well, thanks. My dad used to give me a lot of presents, but he never really gave me a book. So I think that this will be fun to read. Thank you.
If you want, you can write to me in Riverton sometime when I get back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I believe the spell that you had taught her already, that was dancing lights?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so as well. So yeah, I think that as she is walking around in the evening, you would notice that she is sort of surrounded by these little yellow dancing lights all the time.
That's a very cute image. I'm very on board for that.
I like that, yeah.
And yeah, she says, well, look, I've been practicing. And she sort of waves her hand around, and the couple of dancing lights sort of line up in lines and squares and do like some tricks.
And she sets the sail on fire, and...
No, dancing lights are just illusions.
Good.
It is just illusions.
Mercifully
so.
So.
At risk of setting anything on fire with dancing lights.
Good.
Okay. That's cool. So, as you guys are arriving at probably just a crappy sort of trading post more so than an actual village, is there anyone, do you think, in the ship that you specifically want to say goodbye to, or you want to talk to before you leave?
I'm feeling somewhat awkward about the fact, because, was it Pate? Yeah, Pate and Hugh. With the Wolverine. Because we told him we were going to Skur as a cover story, and at this point we've gone past Skur. So we might have had to either make up another lie or just ignore
that's
it.
A fair point.
Or something.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think that it was Brother Glanvar who overheard that Pate is going to Welgenrath himself. Welgenrath, what am I saying? Is going to Blackwater himself. And at this point, I think, how do you think you would confront Pate about this issue? Because he hasn't addressed you himself about it.
In that case, Dave wouldn't. He might, if he would step in if he thought one of the others, someone else in PATHCO, was going to start talking, because he doesn't trust anyone in PATHCO to have a normal conversation with anyone at this point. But otherwise, he would just keep quiet and only bring it up if Pate said, "Oh, so hey, didn't you say you were going to?"
Okay.
Oh, hey. So I forget my Sigmund character voice. Yes, Dave. So, conspiratorially aside, so that Pate fellow, didn't we tell him we were going to Skur?
Yeah, I didn't think that one through. It seemed like a good idea.
That's fine. That's fine. All we need to do is delay him. I could push him off the boat.
No.
Or lock him in some kind of cabin.
No.
Aren't you supposed to be one of the good characters?
Oh, you're a little bit quiet, Haggis. I
Sorry,
can't quite hear you.
Oh, why? I knocked Boomer.
Oh, right.
No, I was just saying, isn't he supposed to be one of the good characters?
I think it's, in the grand scheme of things. I think in theory, we're all supposed to be good. As a cleric, I'm of course extremely good in everything I do.
We're not there to have this conversation.
Yeah.
This is an out-of-character conversation.
This is a different...
That would be really funny if
the camera pans up to Thyra and Broglan sat on the mast, like on one of the crossbars of the mast, having a conversation about morality.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
I'm down. Yeah, no, I'm down. But what are we going to do, Dave? Because we're technically spies right now. I did like that cover story. It was pretty good. Are we just going to assume that he's not going to go the same way and we just get a different carriage? Because it might just be fine.
I think we know that he's going to Blackwater as well, which maybe means we don't have to be quite so worried, because I know that Blackwater is like, oh, don't go there if you're an adventurer, and we're adventurers, but so then again, so is he. So I think we're on the same level. Like, if he says anything weird, we can say something weird back. I can say something weird back.
Oh, I guess we could just say that we were lying, but lie about why we were lying.
Yeah.
That's the best kind of lie. We could say we said we were going to Sker because we didn't want to say we were going to a dangerous place like Blackwater that has, it's close to that area where adventuring is illegal. So if you ever get caught, and here's a trick, Dave, and Sigmund will huddle in close, the smell of breakfast beer. No, he's not drunk yet, actually. Let's not go quite that far. Let's, if you want to have some kind of cover story, it's good to have one where you can just lie about why you were lying, because then you've brought them into the fold. They're less likely to suspect you again. Huh? He taps his nose.
I'll give it a go.
I'm afraid the first part of that cut out, Egg. So
I was just Dave was just saying, I'll give it a go if we need to. Otherwise, I think the fact that Blackwater is dangerous, I think might be enough. But if he doesn't bring it up, then we shouldn't bring it up either. It'll just make us look more suspicious.
Sure. Okay.
So, yeah, as you so the ship comes to the shore. Rosemary and Monbeck are busy disembarking the carriage and the horses, and Monbeck is, in the meanwhile, as he's doing this, also talking to the captain and making his last payments. As you guys leave the ship, you see that this place is it's a handful of huts, like one merchant's building, like a warehouse, and otherwise there's just a sort of earthen road that goes inland. And yeah, you can see that in this sort of area there are not a lot of trees. Like, this is more sort of open grassland. It's not tundra yet because we're not quite that high up, but there are this certainly isn't a forest area.
Do we know how mountainy upwise Blackwater is?
Well, roll me a knowledge geography, why don't you?
Upwise is the dwarven word for higher up, above sea level.
Above sea level, altitude.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Well, let me just get... Is that for everyone or just for us?
Anyone who's interested?
Can I take my 10?
Tara's chatting about it.
Okay, cool.
I'm taking a 10, therefore give me a 20. Just can do that.
Oh yes, the taking a 10. All right.
Yep. Plus my 10.
Okay, I'll just let Dave do the talking.
All right. Yeah. Well,
let Dave do the thinking.
I'll just let Dave do the thinking. That seems like it's a strong plan.
Strong plan.
What could go wrong with that idea?
Well, he does know quite a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Is Glamvar particularly smart, or because I know Thyra isn't, and I'm pretty sure Sigmund isn't.
I'm pretty sure with Polly not here, Dave is definitely the smartest, int-wise member
Pretty
of
sure
PATHCO.
Glanval's just wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's wise as fuck, but his intelligence isn't fantastic.
Right.
Dave is the only one who knows anything, and he's 19.
Yeah, well.
Well, you know...
Well, Glanvar can shoot an arrow through the eye of a needle, so nah.
Nah.
That's true. Okay, so, what was I talking about? Oh, yes, Blackwater. You know that it's not up in the mountains. It's sort of on this river here that you see, which is called the River Saar. S-A... I'll just spell it out for you. And yeah, it's on there. It's mainly on flat, sort of slightly hill-ish land. but it's definitely not high up in the mountains.
And now we know.
And now you know.
Some people say that's up to 50% of the battle.
That's true. Very true. As sort of the horses are I want to say attached to the carriage, but that's not quite right, is it?
Range?
Like,
yes.
harnessed.
Harness is probably,
harnessed,
yeah, those
indeed.
both pretty good.
And as the carriage is ready to depart, Montbec comes up to you guys and says, "Okay, so we're almost there. Luckily, this time has been quite a travel. So if you guys could get on, I mean, I don't think there's much here. I wasn't really planning on stopping here. I mean, there's a merchants if you guys need anything."
I think we'll be okay.
I think we're fine for the time being. I guess Sig will top up all of his various bits and bobs. I'll do the cash for that as we're going along, but
Alright,
nothing specific, just standard.
This is just a trading point, so you can do that as you will.
I'm just gonna toss. How much? I forget what we agreed with the amount of gold that I need to just toss aside at trading points, just to say he's got enough arrows.
Not quite sure about that. I'm just quickly gonna look up the price of an arrow. No, I don't want Deadeye arrows, eruption arrows, ski arrows, just a normal arrow, please.
You're having exactly the same problem I'm having right now, because I think we went to the same thing.
I'm also Googling it.
Ammunition, there we go.
There's a lot of sub-pages for this one.
Son of a bitch. It's 1
Did you
gold
mean-
pieces for 20 of them.
Yeah, so
For
I think
20 common arrows.
Right.
Common or garden.
I think that's about a day's worth of arrows for combat.
Probably.
Yeah, so like 1 gold piece per combat
point.
day. So
Yeah.
does that sound about right?
You know what? I've got a fair amount of gold to spare. I will just toss in 10, and then that'll say that's going to be
Alright.
enough for
Nice.
That's
hopefully.
probably enough for the campaign, to be honest.
Probably enough, but well, you never know. You never know what.
Never know.
Unfortunately, there's no easy way for me to track my arrow expenditure, so
Yeah, it's a
I
bit
gave up a
faffy.
long time ago.
Yes, that's a good idea. I barely keep track of my crossbow bolts either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that you probably, especially if you spend 10 gold for 200 arrows, then you definitely have plenty. I think you don't
Well-
really need to worry too much about that.
The next thing I'm looking to get is an endless
Yes,
magic bow,
endless bow, indeed.
because you pull back the string. Oh look, an arrow's appeared.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
pretty cool.
Nice.
That's a lot. Okay.
Because I'm really cheap.
Well, no, that's fair. I mean, I would probably do the same because tracking arrow expenditure does sound like a pain.
PI for Roll20 doesn't let you write to character sheets. Sorry, I'm distracting people. I'll shut up.
Well, never mind. In any case, the carriage is riding across this quite bumpy road, and yeah, you guys are progressing towards Blackwater, or more specifically, if you remember the letter that was sent to Montbec, you are progressing towards Orkwall, which is a village close to Blackwater.
Is that Orc Wall?
Orkwall,
It's
yes,
it's on the letter in the handouts.
in
AUCH.
the
WA.
letter is in the handouts.
Ah, right. I thought it was like
No.
a wall of orcs. But no.
No, it's not Orkwall, like as in the
Orc.
race. I mean that would be a very interesting setting, but in any case,
Yeah, and just a quick question regarding the law here. How I think it's been brought up about Forspire's legal territory. Are we outside or inside, or is it like half?
you are
half at this point?
outside of Forspire's legal territory.
Jurisdiction. That's the phrase I was looking for.
Jurisdiction, yes.
Yes.
You are outside of Force Bias's jurisdiction.
Cool.
We don't listen to jurisdiction.
Yeah,
anyway.
basically.
That is also a fair point.
But we should try and avoid getting arrested.
We probably should try and avoid getting arrested.
Yes.
Well, I definitely need to avoid it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
In any case, you guys are sort of nearing. You can see the. Well, you feel rather that it's, quite cold up here. At least more cold than. More cold than you're used to, especially because it's turning into winter season. And you can see that there is some snowfall sort of coming down outside.
You see, I think for that, and I think that should be drawn is, I think a snowfall's Glanvar. Time to put on my winter robes, and it's still sleeveless robes, but they're slightly thicker.
I like that. I like that a lot.
It's got a fur trim.
Yes.
Oh, actually, is that the thing that we kind of did in the trading post?
Yes,
Did we try to
you
turn
definitely-
into our winter outfits?
Yeah. You can
Yeah.
definitely sort of switch into your winter gear.
Can we go around the table and talk about winter wardrobes briefly? Because I'm on board for this.
Yeah, me too. Go on, do
I
it.
think that is an excellent way to sort of spend the time of the carriage ride. So,
You first, Sarah, because I can't remember, because
Yeah.
I remember we discussed
Yeah.
this. And if you could try and remember what we said for Sigurd, because I remember it being good, but I can't remember what it was.
yeah. So I think we will indeed start with Thyra.
So I'm thinking, like, based on vague half memories of the animated movie Anastasia, which is a good start. I'm thinking like a big sort of quite comfortable like fur-lined dress, potentially with like a fur-style coat over the top with like a big fluffy hood, and maybe some kind of scarf, but not necessarily like a huge chunky one, just more like a comfy one. And she's of course got her rabbit mittens on, which are made of rabbits.
Right.
So very Russian inspired.
Yeah, kinda. And she also probably has like a hip flask, easy access.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, but because of the rabbit slippers, which are like actual rabbits, I'm now just thinking about these mittens, just imagining like these two sock puppets, which are basically.
Oh yeah, they
rabbits.
still have the ears, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
The ears come out the knuckles, if you can
Gross.
imagine that.
Okay.
I don't think I really want to be
No.
honest.
Too late. It's in your mind now.
Yeah. I suppose
This
that
is-
with a
There's a
Polish
cure for that,
dog,
it's called
the weirdness
alcohol.
Sort of dissipates over the rest of the group members.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. So yeah, Thyra with like a big sort of fur coat, creepy rabbit mittens. Glanvar with his fur-lined, still sleeveless coat. I like
Coat.
that a
No,
lot.
no, not coat. It's a gi.
Oh yes, a gi indeed.
Does Glanvar have mittens?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say, because otherwise, what do they attach to? He's not got sleeves to, thread them through.
yeah.
Oh, fair point. It's like that. I
Threads
have,
them to his beard, then wise ass.
Oh,
yeah, the
he's
beard.
got the braids in his beard and just. Oh,
Okay,
That's a
No,
lot.
he doesn't wear mittens because he can't draw the bow.
Ah.
That would make
No,
sense.
that's a good
Sleeveless
point,
mittens.
actually. Very practical. I like it. How about Dave?
Dave absolutely does have gloves on strings that are threaded through the back of the coat. They can whirl around when you're not wearing them, which is my primary memories of having those as a child. It's probably like a pretty big puffy coat. It might be like eiderdown with like feathers in it and stuff like that. He's got the scarf still, which he always wears anyway. And like I don't know what the name of that kind of hat is, but he's got one of the hats that's got like the flaps down the side. It's got a flap at the front that goes upwards, but I don't know what it's called. It's very fluffy anyway. Yeah, he basically looks like that. It's
Amazing.
accurate.
Cool.
I like it.
And for
It's kind of
Sig,
fun, like an animated. The cartoon image of the guy is basically is similar thing. He's like a starfish because he's wearing so many coats.
Oh,
Yeah.
Indeed.
I would say that Dave's gloves are probably quite fine, so he can still pluck a lute string.
or maybe they have the fingers out, or maybe there's ones where it's got a little flap that you can take off and it exposes
Yeah,
the fingers.
something like that. That would make the most sense. Oh, he's definitely wearing a knitted jumper that his mum made for him as well. important
Does it
detail.
Does it have a like a D for Dave on it?
Probably not. It's probably too big for him. Actually, no, we're probably too
Doesn't
small
now.
for him because he's pretty tall compared to the rest of his family. So it's probably somewhat small. Like the sleeves stop like 3/4 of the way.
Right.
He doesn't care. It's comfy. It's very fluffy. Chunky cable knit.
Cool.
Cool.
Okay. Ag, what about Sigmund?
Well, Sigmund's obviously he's got his a lot of this stuff that's got to go over the top. So it's kind of like a fur poncho almost with a hood. So it's kind of over the top with a fur lining around the top of it as he's kind of walking around and like coming down almost like half capish down the back. But it's kind of like over the top of his armor and down a little bit down the front.
Right. Okay, cool. I like that. As you guys have been riding the carriage, you at some point noticed that you progressed onto a road that is much less bumpy. And looking
Thank God.
outside, you can see that you've sort of gotten onto a very broad sort of cobbled road, which, yeah, like you've definitely seen these in the Midlands. These are like the big roads between cities where there's a lot of trading traffic normally. So you assume that as you've gotten onto the high road, if you will, you have started approaching Blackwater. Yes, you're on the M25.
We're on the motorways now.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
if
worst
any of you
motorway.
could roll me a knowledge local.
Do I want to roll it or should I just do it?
I shall, as I am a woman of the people.
I'll roll it.
I did it, guys.
Nice.
You did the thing.
I did it slightly better than Sigmund, at least.
That's really not
a
saying
common
very
refrain.
much.
It's a common refrain.
Yeah.
You can't roll a knowledge unless you've got a point in it or a training in it, can you?
Well, it just
That's a
rolls.
fair point, actually. Yeah,
That
take
is a fair
my
point,
take
though,
my
it just
take my
needs
8
to be-
away.
No, I wasn't so much trying to make a point about your guys' roles. I was trying to make sure that I
yeah.
can't actually
Yeah,
roll
yeah.
these things.
No,
'Cause
No, it is the rules. You're quite correct.
I feel bad
Yeah.
now.
So Thyra and Sigmund and Glanfar, you aren't familiar with this area at all, so you don't know what's going on. But Dave,
I don't ever know what's going on.
maybe. Dave, you
Sorry.
having read plenty of like maps and books, you know that this road is called the Collier's Way. So as in Collier, like this.
Like that?
Yes,
Yeah.
the very same. And you know that this road spans. It goes from Blackwater to Four Spires, and a lot of the coal mines in the mountains sort of have roads that lead onto it. So it over the course of history, it's mostly been used for coal transport, coal trading. And as you guys progress, and as finally the carriage comes to a halt, you hear Montbec and Rosemary stepping off the front, or Montbec at least. And as he opens the door, you can tell that he's not really looking at you. He's sort of looking at something to his side in the distance, and he says to you, "We're here. Come on."
Are you okay?
Montbec, remind me again, what exactly is our mission here? Do you know, or are we doing recon at this point?
Well, I think that you remember from the letter that you are going to rendezvous with someone who Montbec knows.
Yes, but Sig's giving Montbec the opportunity to give any more information that either A, he's found on the way there, or B, is more willing to say now that we're actually here and can't back out.
Yeah, Montbec is, I think, going to say, well, honestly, I'm not quite sure, but I hope that Brenna can tell us more about this. And as he says that, he's still not looking at you, he's sort of looking to the side.
What is he
Oh yeah,
looking
Sigmund's
at?
doing the same thing,
Can-
like
can-
talking out the side of their mouth,
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
if they're...
as you step outside, and you look in sort of the direction that he's looking. You notice that you've landed in sort of a farming village, not unlike the ones that you know from Midland. Like, you can see around you, even though it's winter and there's now not much farming going on, you can see that there are lots of open fields around this place. You can see a lot of, you know, farming houses, like storehouses. And as you look where Montbec is looking, you can see in some distance, as this village is a bit higher than the city itself, you can see the city of Blackwater.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not at all like the cities that you're most used to. It doesn't have the sort of sprawling and borderless appearance of Scumport, which just spills into the land in all directions. But instead it's enclosed by very big and robust walls. Like, these things are probably a house or 3 high, and they look very thick.
Montbec, what is it they're trying to keep out here, or are they trying to keep something in?
Montbec looks at you for the first time, and you see that he's quite intimidated by the walls as well. And he says, "Hell if I know."
Well, shit.
Let's
This
hope
is
we
the
don't find
second
out.
best idea I've had recently.
You were saying something, Egg?
Let's hope we don't find out what the walls are there for.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch
Oh,
that.
Dave wants to work out what the walls are there for.
No, I'm saying that I hope we don't find out why they're there.
Right. Okay. And yeah, there is another remarkable feature to this this city. You can see some parts of it even beyond the walls. You can see countless smokestacks sticking out, and they are belching out a sort of giant smoke pillars that all come together and make the whole city seem as if it's smoking. And Thyra, I think you especially would be able to tell this. These aren't smokestacks that you know, come from a home or a hearth. These are smokestacks that come from furnaces, and by the looks of these, big ones. Now
Wait a minute, those aren't from homesteads or whatnot. They're from furnaces, potentially of a large scale of some kind, and such. You know,
Yeah.
Glanvar, if you were a proper dwarf and had been to our homeland recently, you might recognize these. And Thyra nudges him with like a wink.
Anvar just side eyes and then but continues to ignore.
Thyra continues elbowing him for 20 to 30 seconds, gets bored, and then gives up.
Amazing. Yeah, as you've, like, at least Sigmund has stepped outside, and probably the rest of you as well, you can tell that as you look around, like, the normal white of snow that you would see in Midland here is different. It's like Glanvar, like you guys heard the captain say. It's almost as if it snows salt and pepper here, because not only does white fall from the skies, but it's joined by an almost equal amount of black snow that falls because of all the smoke coming out of the city furnaces. You can also tell, as a last point, that somewhere in the city there is a large, what looks like cathedral, sort of squatting in the middle of a city, as though it's a big beast that's crouched in its nest. The River Ser runs through this city, as I've said, and whereas it enters normally, or at least in a normal color, where you can see it come out, it is a murky, almost blackish shade as it carries slag and whatever else away.
Yeah.
So, just a quick question about PATHCO as a world. This is what we as players would call an industrialized city, right?
By human standards or by dwarf standards?
How common is this kind of?
Not at all. This is something that you, as characters, you've definitely not seen before. Fyra, maybe you have. Coming
I feel
from
like
the
I feel like
dwarven-
the dwarf cities have like big Erebor style forges and junk like that.
Yeah.
Because that's
think
kind of
that-
dwarf building I like a lot. But I
Yeah.
think Industrial Revolution bullshit is beyond them still.
Yeah, I think that I'm not sure if it's quite Industrial Revolution, but you've definitely seen like these kinds of large amounts of furnaces that produce a lot of like black smoke like this. So this sort of reminds you of the dwarven forges.
Probably not the city I'm in though. I don't know if the city of the Church of Thor is super industrialized. Definitely not Mjolkirk, which is very kind of lightningy and probably dangerous to have a furnace in. Where are we going, by the way? Did what's her name say where to meet her?
Yeah, she did in fact. Just
Hi, Mondog. I love you.
Yeah, he's making.
He's a
videos
good dog.
soon. I will be back in 5 seconds.
Okay, but he's a very good boy, regardless.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
How are Fonzie and Ed doing?
Eddie's fine. He's sitting on my desk.
Hi, Eddie.
He's just a pain in the ass.
Oh,
There's always one.
huh. That's interesting. You'd think they'd be the other way around, really. Based on the canon.
Well, Fonzie's the one who keeps meowing for attention and then running away.
That's hilarious, and all cats do that, or at least both of mine did.
Eddie doesn't meow.
Huh.
Oh, really? Is he a little quiet boy? Oh, that's adorable.
Well, he never had to meow. He spent his formative years as the only cat, and therefore he got the attention, whereas Fonzie wasn't the only cat, and therefore meowed for attention. And because you respond to it, the cat continues to meow. Silence.
Sorry, I was pouring myself another vodka. I
Please
was
don't get
listening if
sloshed.
that helped. What?
Please don't get
So that's
completely
just that.
sloshed.
I'm not sloshed. It's like a single vodka and lemonade over, well, 2 of them over 2 hours. That seems
Okay,
reasonable.
I don't know anything. I know vodka is very alcoholic, but I don't really know in what quantities or anything like that. So I'll take your word for it.
Well, so like cider is like 4% alcohol, right?
Yeah.
And vodka
Depends
is
on
like
the
true. And vodka is like 40% alcohol, but you also have like 1/10 of the amount and then mix it with lemonade or what have you.
Okay.
So it's roughly the same, I'd say.
Okay.
So
I know the
no,
words-
I'm not.
Okay, go on.
You know the word what?
I was just gonna. The word vodka comes from the Polish for little water, which I think.
Oh,
is,
does it?
Yeah.
Oh,
a
that's pretty
reference
good.
To the alcoholic nature of it.
It's good. It's nice. This honey vodka goes down smooth. It's quite lovely. Not quite as good as mead though. I've tried that, and that's very nice.
Yeah, I tried mead. I didn't like it very much.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Well, I don't
Oh,
really like
okay.
any alcohol much.
I've got a bit of a sweet tooth. It's good.
I tried.
It was drinking mead that I first met Ento. We were at a book
Cool,
launch
eh?
at a con, and they had free mead there, so we both gravitated towards that, and that's how we first met.
Oh, that's nice. That's got
It is.
some romantic history.
It does. On one of our first anniversaries, we got some mead to celebrate. So there you go.
Oh.
Oh,
I return.
you missed a romantic mead story from Agtheo. It was very nice.
A mead meat.
A mead meet.
It was a mead meat.
Oh, jeez.
You'll have to tell me about it some other time.
But meanwhile, stories
Fantasy
about fantasy
bullshit. Here we go.
fantasy spy action.
Oh shit, yeah, that's
On
true.
a clearly not evil city.
I'll pull my hood up so people don't recognize me. There we go.
Okay.
Okay, hoods up, everyone. We're going dark.
I don't have a hood.
Thyra gives Glanvar a hood.
I really like the idea of everyone pulling up their hood and Glanford just walking by. I mean, to be fair, his stealth skill is probably high enough that he doesn't need a hood.
Yeah, probably
You could
not.
probably just Assassin's Creed it over the rooftops.
Yep.
Guys, I read the letter and I found out that we actually have to do a thing. We need to go to the Red Dog Inn in Ouchval, and we need to ask them for cheese.
Montbec nods as you say this, and he says, "That's right.
Do you
I'm
need to
going
do that, or should
Well,
we?
I'm going to take a quick look around and see if I can find the inn. First of all, because I don't actually have a map of this place. I should have thought of that.
Don't worry, we've got it. Sigmund, I know you have an innate sense for where inns are. Care to direct us?
Sigmund just puts his nose up into the air and does, and I don't know what kind of check you would want for this. Or...
Perception, I'd say.
Okay.
Innate sense. Very good. Very good.
That was a good one.
Oh, wow.
An initiative check.
Sigmund delivering when it counts.
Yeah.
God.
No. It's roll for initiative.
Initiative. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, this is what Thyra said is no joke. You definitely can sense.
I think she turns around to ask him, but he's already there.
Sigmund is already on his way towards this inn. And as you look around, there are people around here, and they're sort of also in winter getup. There's a lot of there's a bunch of children playing outside with the snow, and sort of at the end of the village, or at least in the direction of the city, you can see a big wooden building that seems to be the inn, and there is sort of there's not really a sign, but there is a crudely carved wooden statue of a dog outside, which has been painted red, and the snow is sort of making a little carpet on top of it.
Oh, well, that's nice. Yeah. Thyra pets the dog as she walks in. The wooden dog.
All right, yeah. As you walk up, there's a lot of farmers, general townsfolk standing around this inn. There's probably like a fire brazier standing outside where people are warming themselves, sort of chatting about, maybe drinking a glass of mead or two, as has been mentioned. And yeah, you are going to go in, do you think?
I think we all are.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
It's cold
Let's
out
all
here.
enter an inn. What could be terrible about that? What could be dangerous, indeed?
You come inside, and it's a pretty cozy place. It's not the highest quality inn that you've been to, but it's a typical village inn. And you see that there's a fireplace roaring with this kind of weather. A lot of people are sitting in here right now. You can see a bunch of farmers and their farm hands sitting in a circle, all playing cards. There is what looks like someone who isn't quite from around here. An elf lady sitting in a side, who seems to be like a traveling merchant of some sort, as there is a very large backpack sitting beside her, from which are hanging all sorts of like baubles and pots and pans, that sort of thing. And behind the inn's counter, there is an old woman with an eye patch, cleaning a glass that is already clean.
As all bartenders must.
All bartenders.
It's true. When you graduate from the Guild of Bartending, you're actually given your unclean rag with which to continuously clean one glass. What's the good name for like a glass mug? Like a stein, isn't it?
It's tankard or a stein.
Yeah.
I think it's just.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I shall go to the bar, and
Of course.
I'm going to lean in conspiratorially to the old woman and say, greetings.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Well, you know, it's cold. Well, I'm after a taste of my homeland, if you don't mind. Do you age any dwarvish cheese here, or?
She, well, maybe she winks. You wouldn't quite know. Eye patch.
Does she very deliberately and like slowly do
Yeah,
it?
she very slowly blinks with her one eye, and she says, "Oh, why yes, come and see." And she walks beside the counter, and she opens the door to the back of the inn.
Like,
All right,
are we
good.
all
That seems
going?
like a positive sign.
Are we all
I feel
going,
like we should
or-
probably all go.
Yeah, Montbec is going in, and he
Oh,
seems
okay.
to be motioning for you to come.
Is
Cool.
Montbec
Alright, let's
leading?
follow them.
Well, it's his
Alright.
mission. Let's go.
Yeah.
True.
All right, yeah. You guys follow the old lady as she leads you through a corridor to a back room of the inn. And she turns to you and she says, "So, which one of you is?" And she looks at you, Sigmund, and she says, "Are you Montbec?"
No, sorry, that would be me.
No, you're not Montbec. Montbec is Montbec.
Sorry, I was muted. it's a common mistake, but and he points him towards Montbec.
He's
We all
Von
point at
Beck.
Montbec.
He's Von Beck. That's Montbec.
Oh, right.
I'm Thyra.
Montbec.
Hello. That's Glanvar for the record. That's Dave.
Oh, hello,
That's
hello.
Rosemary.
Shh, mate. Shh. Maybe we should have aliases.
Okay. My
This is
alias.
Myra. You
My
can put on-
alias is Thyra, but spelt differently.
All right. Well, I don't know what you are all talking about, but Brenna is quite eager to see you. I would assume so. Why don't you come along? She pushes open the door, and in the small room that you're led inside, which has like one small window, which is dirty with sort of general grime and sort of sides of snow and the soot from the black snow sort of caking onto the window. There is one woman who is sitting here behind a little table and has a candle next to her because it's quite dark in here because the window is mostly covered. She seems to be an elvish lady of a somewhat later age, and or at least not quite old, but sort of middle-aged, if you will. And on
So we're
her
talking about
forearms-
in the early 200s, as opposed
Yeah,
to
yeah.
their.
Yeah, something like that, basically, for an elf. And you see that on her forearms, she has large tattoos of looks like some kind of bird or feathers. And I've got a handout, of course,
Ah,
of Brenna Parish right
wow.
here.
Oh, I love her tattoos. That's a nice character design, Mon. Good job.
She's got almost as many tattoos as Glanvar.
I can sense a rivalry brewing here,
Or a kinship.
or a kinship.
Right.
Does Glanvar recognise any of the tattoos, as in sort of for the purposes of prisons or gangs?
No, I don't think so. These don't seem like tattoos that indicate like any gang membership, or they're at least not affiliated with any bandits, gangs, or bandit groups of any kind.
Just when I thought she might be interesting.
Unfortunately.
Jokes.
As she sees you, she sort of looks around you until she sees Monbeg, and she says, well, that's about time. And Monbeg sort of meekly says, yes, I'm sorry. It took me a while, but I'm here. And he sits down. So, right, so Brenna, I've got your letter. What the hell is going on? And she thinks about answering that for a moment. She looks at you guys and she says, well, look, Monbeck, you know that we're keeping, well, the hand's keeping this place, you know, under, keeping an eye, if you will. Well, we've got a bit of a problem. And she takes the letter from him as he
I thought he burnt it.
And yeah, that also just popped into my head. So she doesn't do that at all because the letter is gone. She just says, normally, you know, we were hanging about here in Orkwall. We have a few people on the inside, as you might expect, because, well, just, and she motions towards the city. Just look at the bloody place. But recently, we've gone a bit short on staff, if you will. And she looks at you guys and she says, your, well, not your predecessors really, but the people that I was here with have unfortunately been caught. And as if that's not enough, the last person we had left on the inside of the walls, well, it's a bit of a strange situation. I'll explain. Sit down. And as she motions, the bartender quickly fetches you a couple of, bar stools to sit around the table.
Okay.
And as you sit down, Brenna says, if we've noticed that, as you might see, Blackwater has been innovating a little. Well, you've seen the smoke, and I'm not sure whether you can see it from where you arrive, but you've probably seen the encampments too. The Viceroy has seen it fit to militarize. And, well, it's not looking good. So we we investigated the place, you know, Midland and all that, but unfortunately, my 3 colleagues have been caught for high treason. And, well, especially in these interesting times, the city doesn't take kindly to that. And what's more, there's been, on the inside, as the city says, a serial killer on the loose. But let's say that his victims have been a bit convenient. And most recently, our last contact, Mr. Olaf Peerwood from the Academy, has been found dead in his office. Another victim of the Blackwater sailor. Whoa, what shall we do? What are his motives?
Just to confirm, by convenient you mean all of your spies have been killed?
Yes. How astute of you. The very same.
Ah.
So, our assumption is, oh, well, by this point, my assumption, there's nobody else left, is that this serial killer isn't, well, real. But rather that it's a cover-up to deal with people inside of the city walls.
Well, to be fair, a serial killer and an assassin are about the same, but the assassin gets paid. So,
yes,
could be a serial killer.
True. Very astute of you. you're quite right.
We've met
Well,
one.
we assume that it's sorry, I assume it's a bad habit. Um, in any case, and you can tell at this point that she's been under a lot of pressure lately, and that losing her comrades hasn't done a lot of good. In any case, what we assume is that serial killer is, well, an assassin, as you say, and that their purpose is to make sure that there are no people who undermine the city's efforts, whatever they may be. They frame it as a serial killer, of course. Much better to have that around than deliberate insurgents. Can't have that rally up the people, can it?
I imagine if they stoke fear in a serial killer, be able to justify upping their own guards and such forth, crack down on other things they want to.
She sort of looks at you and she says, that's quite right. You deal with that sort of thing before? What's your name?
Are we using our real names or our cover identities?
Well,
I have to be honest, I don't have a cover. My name's Sigmund von Beck.
Look, yes, we'll work. And she sort of looks at you. Von Beck. Okay. Well, we'll work on the cover identity. That's also sort of the point of bringing you in here. The fact that you guys are all the way from Midland. They don't know you here. We're just going to smuggle you into the city, and you won't even need cover names.
What if they don't know who we are? Why don't we just ride into the city?
Well, funny you ask, because that's actually exactly my plan.
Oh, it's a good plan. I like it.
I see you're pragmatic. I like that. You know how to get things done. Who are you?
My name is Thyra Bergfalk. I am a cleric of Thor. And frankly, I'm probably not terribly suited to this whole spy business, but, I'll give it the old cleric college try.
Well, look, Thyra, so woman of the faith, I like that, by the way. It's not so much a spy business. Monbeck and I will be taking care of most of that. What I need you guys for is to retrieve Olaf's works. Because before he died, Olaf sent me a coded letter in which he said that he was actually making progress for us. And that apparently there was something that he wanted to tell me in person. But, well, as I've told you, unfortunately that isn't possible anymore. The guards have got his office on lockdown, and I personally haven't been able to get in after having tried a few times. So, what our intention is to use you guys, who they don't know, to get Olaf's works, so that we can maybe finally figure out what the hell is going on in that place.
Okay.
She looks at you, Glanvar, and you, Dave, and she says, well, as far as introductions go, care to introduce yourselves?
Glanvar shrugs and says, I'm known as Glanvar.
All right. What about you, Halfling
Hi.
boy?
I'm Dave Barrowhill.
Dave
This is
Barrowhill.
Toast.
Right. Never met anyone from, halfling communities myself. Quite strangely. You come from Skur?
Yes?
You come from the mainland?
Oh, yeah, I'm from Skur. I'm a Skur halfling.
And she nods. I've always wanted to go to Skur once. Heard it's a nice place. But, well, work keeps on calling. Alright. So, as I've said, this might all come a bit fast. But basically what I've had Montbec bring you guys for is I need whatever Olaf was working on before he died. And I've not been able to get it, but maybe you guys can. I've got a map of the city here. Just a moment. And she rummages through a bag that she has. And she slides towards you a big map of the city of Blackwater.
Ooh,
oh wow! Look at
fancy.
this. Fucking Jesus Christ! Look at this.
Big city.
She points over to the large building. You can see on the right that there are three like large buildings. She points to the lowermost of these, number 26. Confusing my numbers there. To the Academy of Philosophy and Sciences. It says, Olaf's office is in the academy. That's where his stuff is. I've set a place up for you guys where you can stay. It's over here, and she points to all the way to the left, number 7. Points to the 3 Geese Inn. Bartender there is a friend of mine, and he's not very fond of the city's, the Viceroy and his entourage. So he's agreed to help me. And that's the place where you guys will be able to stay.
Okay.
And she looks at Montbec, and she says, Montbec will be staying here with me. We'll be trying to figure out, a way inside the academy for you guys. If you can't find any yourself.
Okay.
Otherwise, well, I'm not sure what else I've got to say to you except, well, I'll pay you as well as I can, because honestly, I'm at the end of my wits. And I'm also out of people who can help me. So I hope you guys can.
Me too.
We could try.
As I said, the old cleric college try. I mean, how hard can it be, right? I think we'd make reasonably good spies. And worse comes to worse, we have almost killed an assassin before just, paying him to go and kill other people instead. So, we could just do that.
Brenna sort of nods. Said, you're acquainted with the business, apparently. Right? Well, the more experience, the better, I suppose.
Actually, that's a point. Rather than just saying, because Sigmund wasn't actually involved yet, would name dropping the assassin that they took out be worth something? How famous is Vlad in terms of public enemies?
I don't know.
Maybe not. Right.
I think we've confirmed that there's a guild of assassins in Scumport, so, I think he's probably one among many, but,
Cool beans. Sorry, yeah, no, carry on.
Okay, yeah, I think that Brenna is going to say to you, so, in terms of getting into the city, I think, Montbec, you brought a carriage driver, right? And Montbec says, yes, I've got a carriage driver. All right, well, then whoever Montbec brought will be able to drive you guys into the city and just act as though you're there on, I don't know, trading business. Something like that. They always like traders coming in. Or at least, well, that's the thing that they're least suspicious about. So
how do they feel about, freelance for those?
Sorry, you cut out for the most important
I thought
part.
that was just me.
How do they feel about, you know, freelance adventuring consultants? Are they into those?
I wouldn't try it.
Okay,
I mean,
cool.
We're not in
Good to
forest
know.
fires, but well, you'll be able to tell once you're
They're
inside
not
the
big
city.
fans. Gotcha.
These guys don't need no mercenaries.
Do you know what they did with the corpse?
I'm sorry?
Do you know what they did with the corpse?
What corpse?
Well, the
Oh.
corpse of Olaf.
Well, no, to be fair, I don't.
Oh.
Unfortunately, me being based outside the city means that I wasn't able to get to the academy before the city guard had already done most of its investigations.
Ah.
If I were to guess, Olaf's body would be in... And she looks around. I would say that it's in Caramond. Caramond Library and Clinic. It's number 28 on the map, if you could see it. It's close to the academy. And, well, I would assume that if it's not being kept somewhere in the academy, it's being kept at the clinic.
I mean, if we were really struggling for clues, you know, I once went to this great bender. You know, there were a whole bunch of apprentices getting sloshed. It was fantastic. But one of the high priests came along, and, you know, he actually brought a corpse back to life briefly and asked it questions 3. So, you know, I could petition the Lord Thor for that power, and we could try that out.
That's a good point, actually. Well, it's certainly handy to have some mages on hand for once.
Cleric.
Well, cleric, yes. Whatever the case may be. Someone who can at least do magic, who the hand never sees fit to assign to me, but oh well.
Oh, Dave can also do magic, for the record. He's very good.
That's nice. That's good. I can see that you actually brought capable people on back.
Yeah. We're capable.
Sarah pulls a very uncertain expression.
Okay. Yeah, so that's where I would assume Olaf is right now. Well, his body at least. Other than that, she sort of scratches her chin and looks over the place. What else do I need to tell you? Well, if you look here, there's been a bit of a... I don't know whether this will be useful to you, but you should probably know. She points towards sort of the darker area at the bottom of the map. And she says, this part's been walled off. About a month or 2 back, we've had a plague outbreak. And, well, so far it's the Academy hasn't found a cure yet. So they've walled off the area, and it is now, well, can't call it much else than a plague quarter.
Sounds like fun.
Let's not go there.
Other than that, you have on the left. You sort of have the. If you're looking for shops, you're probably looking on the left there. You can see your apothecary at number 6, things like that.
Hi, Fonzie. You're a good cat.
If you take a look at sort of the west middle there, you can see the industrial district. You can see the cathedral there, number 24. You guys familiar with Saint Sotoria?
With what?
No, maybe.
Saint Sotoria is
Am
who
I?
they worship here.
Am I familiar with her?
Yeah, roll knowledge religion.
I can roll that.
All right.
I can roll that. Damn
I
it.
can roll this
Quick,
knowledge.
let's all roll it.
Do I want to roll
It's
it?
a madcap brawl.
Sure,
God
it's more
damn it.
interesting.
I'm actually allowed to roll that one.
All right, go for it.
Me and
not
Dave
gonna
are
do well.
exactly as
Not
smart
bad,
about it.
but
Damn it,
Fyra,
why is this thing not rolling?
It did roll. We can see it.
It did roll. We can see it.
No, it's not popped up on my screen yet.
No, it's
you got a 14.
According to us. Which, you know, it's decent, but I think that you would need a 23 like Thyro or Dave to actually know this particular deity.
Bah.
Considering that Saint Sotoria is someone who is only worshipped in Blackwater. There's no other account of her worship anywhere else, as far as you know. And she's a pretty standard deity who is kind of a symbol of, you know, prosperity, power, ingenuity. Very sort of similar to Abadar in the Midlands. She also has like the key as one of her symbols, along with book, which represents, you know, ingenuity and knowledge. And she is typically represented as a sort of typical sort of saint-like lady with a golden crown and also a sort of gold-painted face. And her, what's also associated with her is sort of a horned cross symbol, which I don't actually have any separate handouts for, bloody hell. Actually, wait, I do have something that I can use for it.
Is it
so like a cross? Like a crucifix with horns on it?
I'll show you in a second.
Is it like the one which is on the map of the route to Blackwater? There's like a little symbol on that.
Let me...
Above
no, it's
nope? Okay.
Not that. Where is my... Ah, here we go. Come on. Ah, here we go. Okay. Show to everyone. There you go.
Oh, okay.
The symbol that's hanging from that is what...
Oh, that's pretty cool. Hmm.
That is her general symbol, and she's also sort of associated with the bull as her sacred animal, which you see on the...
Yeah, okay, so the bull and the key are for her. Okay. That's good to know.
Brenna, I think, is going to take a look over the map again, and she's going to say, well, otherwise, if you have any questions, you tell me.
I've got
and
one.
If not, well, you know what you have to do.
I only have one question about the this academy. Does it take like new students? Could one of us, maybe me, possibly get in as a prospective student and then figure out some way of getting the others in? Do you think that would work?
It probably might.
Probably might. That's good enough.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
I think if it was going to be anyone, it would be you, Dave.
I do know some things about philosophy and science.
So you do that while I steal the corpse.
Please don't steal the corpse. Not yet. Well, let's get there. We could scope it out and then make some more plans, okay?
Okay, we'll have corpse heist as plan B for now.
Yeah, sure.
Right. Very well.
And corpse creation as plan C.
I mean, corpse creation is usually plan A, let's face it.
I know, but I was trying to give us, give us a bit of a credence with this new person we've only just met. They don't need to know about plan A.
Just right here, you know.
Hello. Anyway,
but I'm using a stage whisper.
Yeah, can you stop interrupting our stage whispers, please? We're trying to have a serious discussion.
She holds up her hands sort of apologetically and lets you continue.
Thyra brings up a hand to cover her lips at this point, but continues speaking at room volume. Yeah, okay, so, we do kill people quite a lot, that probably should still be the solid plan A. But yeah, let's get into the city, see where guards are, and, how they might be avoided, and how we might avoid being routed out as spies and, killed and whatnot.
I think, and Sigmund doesn't have his hand not over his mouth, but to the side of it, in between his mouth and our new friend, and he's like, I think we should put a moratorium on the word spy. I think that's something that we should probably not be speaking whilst we're in there.
What is a moratorium?
You know what? I use the word, but I'm not 100% sure that I know what it means. I think we should stop saying spy, though.
I think a moratorium is where monks eat. I think we've probably got one on the monastery back home.
No,
I'm not sure what it has
let's
to do with
get
the spy, though.
Glanvar.
What?
When you eat food in a monastery, is it called a moratorium?
Glanville just rolls his eyes.
Okay, that's a solid
Sure.
yes.
That's a
Why not?
solid yes.
All right. Huddle concluded.
Okay, well, we're good. We're good. No, thank you for the space. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that was good. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's good. Good working relationship. I like it.
All right. Very good. Well,
And out of character, this is why Dave usually does the talk.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, Brennan says, "All right, very good. Well then," and as she says that, you suddenly hear sort of a trumpet or a horn being tooted in the distance. It's just, "Oh, just a second. Plug your ears." And she plugs her ears, and Monbeck
Hands over my head.
respectively does the same.
Yeah, same.
Same, I
Yes.
guess.
I guess as well.
Yeah.
This
In for a
seems
penny, in for a pound.
this seems worrying.
As you all put your hands to your ears, you feel sort of the inn sort of give a little shudder as you hear a in the distance. Brenna sort of looks around and says, "All right, as you were."
What was
What the
that?
fuck was that?
Oh, that's the wall defense. They test it every once in a while. In any case, as I was saying, you guys can take the carriage, and when you come to the Three Geese Inn and you talk to the bartender, you just tell him the following. And she gives you a little paper
Oh,
to
good.
remember it by. She says, "Tell him that there's a bird in Orkwall which has white feathers, which is quite unusual for this time of year."
Okay.
Okay.
Glanville again rolls his eyes.
Hmm.
That's the Three Geese, yeah?
Yes, the Three Geese. That's the one.
Alrighty.
Okay. Very well. I think I'm going to get back to, well, whatever I can do. On back, you're with me. And she sort of looks at you guys and says, "Is there any way that I can... You guys have a company name? Can I address you as what?"
You can call us PATHCO. We might not be discreet, but we're on the street.
Okay, that wasn't a great one.
No, I'm regretting. No, can I do over that?
Let's be honest now, most of them aren't great.
Oh, hang on now. I quite like our slogans. We may not be discreet, but we can't be beat.
Oh no, I've
That
got a better
too.
one. We are discreet, and we can't be beat on the street.
I don't think we should be lying in our slogan segment.
Oh,
I'm a cleric. I've got an image to uphold.
that's true. How about PATHCO? At least we're not the Pathfinder Society.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's
Brenna
pretty good.
Sort of chuckles at that.
Oh, no, that's
yes.
pretty good.
I like
Yeah.
that one.
We should get T-shirts with that on, whatever a T-shirt is.
It's like a tabard, I think.
Ah, yes.
Tabard shirt. I think that's what the T stands for.
Ah,
Mm-mm.
Well, I learnt something new today.
yeah. We learnt a monatorium is where monks eat.
Indeed. Okay. Very well. Godspeed then.
We don't need gods. We've got fire. And she
No,
talks to
no,
gods.
I
actually.
I need gods.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, that's not perfect.
No, I was
we
trying to
go?
give you a compliment. No, we're good. We're good. We're good.
Bye, Montbeck.
I guess we'll be back here with the stuff. Hopefully.
Yes, I would hope so.
And
Okay.
maybe a corpse. You know, we're making that a solid plan C.
Well, actually, about that, what might be a better idea is that you guys stay in the city, but you let the barkeep know when you've got what you need. Then I will come to the city myself, instead of you having to take, well, Olaf's stuff and possibly Olaf's body through the gatehouse.
Yeah,
Right,
that
so
would
we'll
make
call
more
you
sense.
for exfiltration. Gotcha.
Right. Well, off you go, I suppose. And she takes Mont back aside and starts sort of talking to him about things.
Bye, I guess.
At the moment, you are, free to explore the village that you're in right now. Or once you want to start moving towards the city, you can talk to Rosemary as she is standing outside with the carriage.
Well, I guess we need to tell her the plan, don't we?
All I heard was, "Don't we, buddy?"
I think
I
we need
guess
to
we
tell
need
her...
to tell the plan.
Yeah, tell her the plan.
Oh. Yeah, we should probably tell her that we're sort of all going into this death city to die.
Well, she's taking us in as well, apparently. Apparently we can't just walk in.
Why can't we just walk in? I mean, they don't know who we are. We're cool. We'll just ride the horse carriage in.
Yeah, that's the exact plan. You can do that.
Okay, then.
If you're talking, Egg, I can't hear you.
Not really. I was just saying okay.
Oh, okay, good. Great, confirmed.
Okay, yeah. So I think that as you tell Rosemary the plan, she doesn't seem very keen on the whole corpse stealing business, but she seems quite fine with driving you guys into the city.
Is she gonna hang around while we do our stuff?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, sweet.
You know,
It might be useful to have a getaway driver in the city. I'll be honest with you.
that is a fair point. Yeah, so she's probably going to go with you guys once you move towards the city.
Do we have anything we actually want to do in this shitty little farmer's village?
I mean, getting some info about what the situation is with the walls might be good. I don't know if our contact would know that, Brennan would know that. If we could get some rumors, just general rumors about the city.
We could ask that elf traveler lady, the tinker in the common room at the inn. She might know.
Sure, yeah. Let's see if we can just get a feel for the city. You know,
And worst comes to worst, another tavern brawl.
that is pretty worse. I'm for it. Let's go.
Radical.
You people worry me.
The elf lady, as you approach her, you can see that she has sort of a peculiar headdress. It's sort of a I've sent a while back, I think, my interpretation of what like high elves, like northern elves, look like. I think I'll put it in the Discord chat for a second. Here we go. So she doesn't have this full like outfit, but she does have the headdress, and other than that, she has lots of stuff in her backpack along with her. And at the moment, she is playing solitaire with a pack of cards.
Like Sigmund's like, I think I've done enough talking for today. Dave, do you want to take this one?
Okay. I feel like we probably could have asked Brenner, but okay, sure, why not? I'll approach this elven lady.
Alright. How are you going to introduce yourself to her?
Approach with... Oh, hi, you look like another traveller. Whereabouts are you from?
Hello. Oh, I suppose I'm from up north, but I really just do a lot of travelling. I'm a merchant, you see.
Oh,
Would
yeah?
you care a look? and she
Might as well.
drags the backpack close to her. I've got, if you need pans, I've got a couple of those. I've got a couple of books, scrolls, that sort of thing. Anything really that you might need. You know, if there's a bauble that you're interested in, you know, maybe you'd like an exotic ring to ask someone out, maybe something like that. I've got all of those things.
What kind of scrolls?
And she sort of rummages through her stuff, and she says, well, I've got this scroll, and she sort of unrolls a scroll, which looks to be just sort of artwork, which is a depiction of the Battle of Stone's Freedom. Look, and she sort of points out things on that, and it doesn't seem like she has actual magic scrolls, but it mostly seems like scrolls that are artwork or that are writing, sort of like books.
So some nice stuff. Are you gonna go into Blackwater to trade that stuff, or are you gonna stick around out here?
Oh, no, I really just travel from village to village, really. It's just, well, it earns me a bit of coin, and it's really just what I do with my life. I used to live up north with my tribe, but, well, that life just wasn't for me, and so I thought, you know, why not go into the wide world and make money? And, well, now I'm here. Would you like to buy a scroll, maybe?
Maybe not right now. So if you've not been to the city, I guess that means I can't ask for tips. I was just thinking of going in with my friends here, and you know, I've never been before. It seems a little bit scary from out here.
Oh yes, it does look awfully scary, doesn't it? And then there's the wall things. Those bloody. I'm still not quite sure what it is. You know, I'm not very well versed in magic, but it looks like maybe fireballs. Have you ever seen that spell cast? Like fireball?
Yes, I have.
Well, it looks like that, really. But a couple. Do you think maybe it's wands that they're using?
I don't know. I just got here.
Sure. I'm honestly not sure myself, but in any case, it looks like an awful lot of trouble.
Well, if I find out while I'm in there, I'll let you know. If you're still around, I mean.
Right, well, depends on how long you're staying. I might be, I might not. You know, you're certain that, you know, the scroll doesn't, you know, they're not expensive.
They're very nice.
How much are they? Sigmund kind of wanders in.
Well, this one, because it's so nicely illustrated, is yours for 5 gold pieces. And these ones, which are mostly just literature and poetry, now I can do those for 5 silver apiece. They're not too long, but they are very nicely written.
Oh, I wouldn't want anything like that to get damaged. Not today. Thanks, though.
Alright, well, if you ever run into me again, do come again.
I will. Thank you.
Will do.
Like, as they're, like, walking away, Dave's like, no, that was a bust. She didn't know anything. Maybe we're better off asking that old lady who runs the place. Maybe she'll know something. Bartenders always know something.
Right. What do you think you're going to ask her?
Egg, a player, is very low spoons, but Dave is quite peppy still. Okay, Dave, what would Dave ask? If she's around, I assume she, like, once she delivered us to Brenner, she went back to the bar?
Yeah, she is just, you know, doing barkeeping.
Cleaning that glass. Well, I guess, she sort of knows that we're doing something secrety. So we don't have to be too, dishonest with her, I guess. Which case I'll just go up to her and say, hey, so about Blackwater, what is the deal with those walls? Why are they so big? What is so terrifying to them?
Oh, well, it's just, I suppose, well, it used to be that there was a lot of wilderness around here, and that's sort of why people built the walls in the first place. And, well, if I remember right, because I am quite old, so I do remember a lot of things, if I remember right, mostly it's just been the fire strike saying, well, you know, we've got these walls, we might as well build them out, right? Whenever we wouldn't want our own city to come into trouble, you know. If there ever was like a time of escalation or anything of such kind, then you know we'd be safe. That's what I always hear when I go to the city.
That's quite pessimistic.
Well, I suppose, well, it's true. When you are inside, I mean, I don't think I've ever felt safer than when I was inside Blackwater.
But you did leave.
Well, yes, I live here.
Okay. Well, I was just curious.
You know, I just go do some shopping there every once in a while.
Well, I'm sure I'll probably feel the same once we get in there.
I'm sure you will, dearie. Anything else?
Not right now, thank you.
All right.
So again, turning back to the others. I think we should just go for it.
Sooner we start, sooner we finish.
Yeah, basically. I'm not sure we're gonna find anything else much more useful outside. That's all. I feel like all the useful stuff is in there.
Agreed. Let's get moving.
Right.
Okay, let's do it.
So, as you guys come outside and you take the carriage closer to the walls, through the windows of the carriage, you can see that as you approach the city, you can see that the fields, the normal crop fields, have been turned into what looks like, well, barracks, really. Mostly barracks and army encampments. And you see a lot of people in sort of the same general uniform, which you assume to be sort of the guards or the army of Blackwater. And you see, you know, a lot of them sort of training information with a commander yelling at them, all sort of running along, doing squats, doing that sort of thing. And on the other side, you can see that there is a region which has like a few big smoking craters very close to the wall, and you can see some people from the army sort of all using spades to sort of fill up the smoking craters again. As you come close and you approach the guardhouse, the carriage stops and you hear a knock on the carriage door. And as you open it, one of the guards looks inside, says, "Well, your business, please."
We are looking for some trade opportunities on behalf of our company.
Ah, very well. Company name, for the record?
The...
We're here on behalf of Bishibo Caravans. Oh, fuck, Sigmund doesn't know that. Sorry, no, never mind.
He might have run into...
We're here on behalf of Pissybo Caravans.
It's
We're based out of Scumport. It's a small but growing operation. You know, our CEO, he's quite the dreamer.
as well.
That's always good to hear. Always good to have new opportunities come to our city. Well, here is a city map, and he hands you the exact same map that
oh, no, we got two.
Brenna gave to you. There's if you're traders, you're mostly going to be looking towards the trading district, the merchant house. It's in the northern part of the city, north side. And I wish you good luck with your trading ventures.
Thank you
Welcome
very much.
to Blackwater. And he steps off and closes the door again. And the carriage rides inside.
He was much friendlier than I was expecting.
as you guys are riding, could you roll me a perception, please?
Yes.
Sure.
Perception? Perception, yes.
Perception, yes.
Perception, maybe.
21, 17,
Perception, no.
18,
Yep.
33.
Jesus
Christ.
Hey. So, I think...
So what didn't
well,
I see?
Well, all of you really saw what there could be seen in this case. Looking at the guards that were stationed at the guardhouse, you could see that most of them had, large polearms, sort of spears or halberds, and a few of them had crossbows as well. But you also saw a couple of them which had a kind of weapon that you're not very used to seeing. Namely, they had... Well, normally when you would see a musket or a gun, they would always be things that are very well crafted. Because, not a lot of craftsmen in the Midlands know how to make them. So they are always sort of unique pieces of art. Well,
We went and threw one in the trash.
That is true. And this one, well, the ones that these guards are holding more sort of look like, well, tubes on a stick, really. They definitely look nowhere near as well made, but they do seem to be more common here than you would expect. And these are sort of more standard, sort of long muskets.
So these are mass-produced almost.
So it would seem.
Because Sigmund's been in the mercenary groups. He has seen firearms before, so I think that unsettles him slightly. People would pick up, he looks at this as there's something that kind of is off-putting to him about mass-produced fire. He doesn't comment on anything specific about what that might be.
Indeed. Yeah, so that's what you generally notice. You can tell that. And as you look outside, when you come into the city, you saw these big smokestacks rising and this very looming atmosphere of Blackwater. But as you come inside, and as you actually pass the wall, you see that though the buildings here are quite robust as well, they all seem to be sort of brick buildings. Lots of it is stone, not really the mostly wood buildings that you would see in, for instance, Scumport or smaller towns. There's a lot of ambience here. There's a lot of people walking around, lots of talking and walking, lots of people who really seem to be sort of happily walking around. There's a few clerics sort of ringing their bells and talking to the people on the street. You can see a newspaper boy handing out little flyers, and you can see, a few people actually just sort of throwing flyers around. Yeah.
What's on the flyers? So we're able to kind of pick one up as we're going past?
Yeah, I think that as you are sort of looking outside the window, one of them sort of flies through the window, and you can grab hold of it.
I make a reflex save to grab it as it's flying through the window.
Yes, actually, do that. Any of you, Sigmund, let's say Sigmund, roll me a reflex save for trying to catch a flyer.
Sure.
Oh dear.
Oof.
You punch someone in the face.
No.
As the carriage is riding and you stick out your arm,
I just clothesline someone. Oh.
The ringing of a clerical bell sort of suddenly grows louder as the carriage is riding, and your arm connects with the head of one of the clerics.
Sorry.
Oh my!
Is it a cleric of their saint?
My eye! What did you say? I'm sorry.
Is it a cleric of their saint lady?
Yes, Saint Sotoria. They all seem to have sort of blue robes and sort of blue broad hats.
Huh. Do I know if there's
his hat is knocked off his head, and And yeah, you see him sort of stumble and well, be on the verge of cursing.
Okay, that was pretty funny. I mean, you shouldn't make a habit of that, but that was kind of hilarious.
Lol, habit.
Ha! It's another classic Glanvar goof. Thyra punches his shoulder.
Organized religion goofs.
You hear the carriage slowing, or you feel it rather, and you see Rosemary jump down and open the door and say, "All right, so we're inside. Where are we going exactly? Could you?"
Can we give her the spare map?
Oh yeah, so let's pass Rosemary a map because I think that's probably...
Yeah, we've got 2 now, so she might as well have one.
We have a spare one now.
Oh, wow, thanks. All right,
so going to that one.
Where are we looking for?
Number 7, 3 Geese Inn.
Oh, right. Okay, then I'll. She looks over the street. I'll turn left on. Yeah, next one. Okay. Very well. You guys want to look around this place? Or do you want to go straight to the end?
What do you think?
So look around.
Oh. Okay, I guess we're looking around then.
Yeah. I'll go. I mean, I can go to the inn ahead of you guys if you want. I'll just park there.
It's your call.
But if you guys want to look around here.
Where else are we at the moment anyway?
No,
Are we,
I was just making a suggestion.
Well, what is your consensus? Glamour wants to look around. Dave is ambivalent.
Did I leave no stone unturned?
What Thara?
I guess it couldn't hurt to hear any local rumours and such, but
whereabouts are we at the moment?
Being in a bar for that kind of thing is usually where I go to.
Yeah, and we are going there to a bar anyway. Maybe later.
Alright, fine.
Okay, so what is your guys' plan?
Thara? What does Thara want to do? I've not heard from Thara yet.
Check into the inn and, then probably look into how hard it is to get into this university, I guess. I mean, how hard can that be, right?
Now he's jinxed it.
Yep.
Well, maybe the bar guy might have some good places for us to start anyway.
Maybe the what?
The bar guy might have some good leads for us to start with.
The barman.
Yeah. Let's go there. Let's go now.
Okay. We do that.
Yeah. Okay. You guys stay on the carriage and ride towards the Three Geese Inn. And you keep on riding, and at a certain point the carriage stops again, and Rosemary says, "Okay, I don't see the inn yet. I think it's down this way, but this street isn't broad enough for me to ride the carriage through, so you guys are going to have to get out."
Oh.
Probably going to look for a stables, parking place around here somewhere. Sure, I can find some, but doesn't look to be any around here.
That sucks.
Guess I'll catch up with you guys, eh?
Oh yeah.
Sure. Well.
Bye, Rosemary. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Travel safe, and shoot a bolt of fire into the sky in the shape of Thor's hammer if you need me.
I am not sure how I'll do that, but will do.
Can normal people not do that? I mean, Dave's the most normal person I know, and he could probably do it.
Well, I probably couldn't, actually.
Oh, shit. What would you do if you were in trouble? How would you contact me? You should have thought this through, Dave.
Well, he does have that musical instrument.
Ah, that's true. He
can
use the power of sound.
And I've got this telepathic bird.
Oh, and you do have a bird.
I think that's pretty covered. Yeah, no, Dave, you're the best at giving out warnings and such. So,
we should probably get Rosemary a bird.
We'll be fine.
Like maybe a bit of percussion. Have a bit of like a bongo or a cajon to accompany Dave.
Let's go to the inn.
Anyway, to the pub. To the pub.
To the pub. Thyra
yeah.
sprints.
You guys go through the sort of narrower road, and you come indeed to the Trees Inn. Now, in front of this building is, like most others, made of heavy bricks, and it has small windows, making it look, very rough and almost fortified, which is quite strange for a pub. And only one of the windows is larger than just a thin slit, and it is stained glass and displays the image of 3 geese in a pond, which is sort of the calling sign of the pub. And letters above them, also sort of made into the window, state indeed the 3 Geese Inn. Behind this glass, you can see the shadows of people inside bustling around, and you can hear laughter and buzz, which suddenly becomes louder as the door swings open, and a very drunk-looking man is thrown out of the place, sort of cursing and buckling up his belt as he stumbles onto the pavement and quickly scampers away down the alley.
He's buckling up his belt? Okay.
What time is it?
And yeah, this looks like a pretty rowdy place.
Okay.
Is it like afternoon or is it evening?
At this point, I think it's afternoon, really.
Wow.
Sickles House is my kind of place.
These guys put it early.
Well, we're all experienced bar fighters now.
Right. The person who threw out the man earlier looks at you and says, you coming in or what?
Yes.
I believe we are. Sigmund
Sort of holding open the door for you.
I think Sigil heading first, just in case anyone throws anything at us, but hopefully no one comes.
Be on meat shield as always.
As always.
As always.
Thank you, Sigmund.
Okay. Cool.
I can protect us against anything except proliferation of attack weapons. Oh dear.
Except for what?
Except for what?
A proliferation of weapons based on touch AC.
Oh, yes. Like guns, for example.
Like guns.
Oh. Right.
I forget, what is touch attack? Is that's
Low.
no armor? Pardon?
No
Yeah.
armor.
No armor.
Basically.
In that case, that's my game.
Yeah.
Given as I don't
Cool.
wear any.
Mine would be 10.
Oh no. Mine was
My touch
mine...
AC is 24.
Jesus.
Jesus.
What's your regular AC?
Impressive.
Well, I don't have.
24 as well, then.
I don't wear armor.
Ooh. Wow.
You still get your Dex mod,
Yeah.
and I still get my Wisdom mod.
Yeah,
And
this is true.
given as my
Oh.
flat-footed AC is worse because I don't have my Dex mod,
Mhm.
I still have my Wisdom though because I'm that awesome.
Good. Very good.
Man, I don't get a wisdom bonus or any other kind of bonus, in fact.
It's a monk thing.
Yeah, I figured.
Powerful monks.
Mine's
Powerful
16,
monks.
which isn't too bad, all
Reason
things
why-
considered.
Dwarves make fantastic monks, by the way.
Okay. So inside, the place smells of ash meat and tobacco, and there's a lit fireplace that's shielded by shutters, above which there's an icon of Saint Sotoria hanging from a nail. There's a chandelier made out of a wooden cartwheel that creaks over the patrons' heads, and there's a lot of just banter going about as people are stripping chicken legs and drinking pints. And from the worn armchairs that are sitting around the fireplace, the dock workers from this place, or at least that's what they look like, cast shadows on the walls as they sort of enact the pulling of ropes or the dagger of a brigand or the tentacles of whatever they found among the fish in their nets. At least 2 games of dice and cards are being played at different tables, and the bettors are loudly hollering as the money is changing hands. The landlord, a man with strangely long sideburns and a balding head, gives you a nod as you come in. And I believe a
Ooh.
wait, actually, I think wasn't sure whether you guys would get to the inn at this point, but I think that I have a map for the inn.
Ooh.
I'll get to that next session because we're nearly done anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll just get you guys the handout for the bartender. Go. In the meantime, you guys can discuss what your plan of action sort of is.
Well, I think the plan of action is to go and give the call sign, right, and then just going to move from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we need to make sure that we've got rooms as well, because Ryan said we would have rooms, but we need to check that we do actually have rooms.
Sure. Well, are we giving them the call sign, and then we're just gonna see if that gets us what we need? Or are you gonna 7?
Yeah, that's rather cool sign first. I can remember what it is, I think.
Okay, I have it written down. If you cannot remember,
I've got an abridged version written down, so hopefully I can unabridge it.
Okay. Well, go ahead, I'd say.
We'll walk up to the bar and hope that I'm tall enough that he can notice me.
Sigmund will pull a seat out for you to stand on if you're not helping you out, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that you are tall enough, but you just about come with your head over the
So I'm like eye level with the counter.
countertop. Yes.
Hello.
Hello. What
I
do you
like
like?
Well, I just wanted to comment on your stained glass back there. Very nice geese. I saw a bird in Alcor that had white feathers. Quite unusual for this time of year.
He stops for like a fraction of a second and says, "Ah, yes. Yes, you don't see many of those around anymore. Say, you guys were the room in the back, right? That's you?
Yes.
Come on, yes. I'm sure it's you. Come. Follow me."
Brenna didn't
And
tell us
he
what the counter sign
winks
was.
and motions for you to follow.
Okay, that's good enough. A conspiratorial wink. Confirmation enough.
All right.
I guess we're going.
Okay, so you follow, and as he opens up a door in the back, you follow him into sort of a storage room.
Oh.
And he says, "Right, so you're Brenna's people, right?
Yes.
Aren't you?"
Sort of. We're Mombeck's people, and Mombeck is Brenna's people, so I guess we are, by proxy, Brenna's people.
That is good enough for me. And he bows down, settles on his knees, reaches underneath a sort of a low storage shelf, and you hear a click as something unlocks. The man puts his palms against the cupboard, and he pushes it to the side, revealing a door which opens inwards. Behind it is a sort of a tunnel down, accessible by a set of wooden stairs which, to be fair, have seen better days. He lights a candle and says, "Come on down. Haven't used this place in a while, but suppose you'll get some use out of it."
It looks that way.
And he goes down, and you follow him into a sort of very musty feeling room, which has some, like a table in it, some chairs strewn around, and it seems that to the side there are also some bedrooms here. And he says, "They used to use this place back when guards weren't so strict. There was still a sort of a underground gambling scene going on here. But times change. No people for it anymore these days. So place gone empty. But if you're really Brenna's people, and it's true what she says, then I'll be happy to put it to use again.
Oh, thank you.
You may make yourselves at home now, but try not to make too much noise. don't want the other patrons to figure out that this place is here. If you take the stairs down there, and he points towards one of the doors here, you can take stairs down. Leads you to a little dock of the sewer system. Used to be that we'd use that to quickly get away when guards would come look for any illegal gambling that's going on. But well, might be useful if you want to use that to get around the city, maybe to places where you can't normally reach. Right, I'm going to go back to my bar. Take care.
One thing before you go. So was this area? Does this have out of cap? Does this have areas for us to like live in, or a base?
Yeah, there's living areas here.
Yeah, sure, okay. What's the word on the street? Any rumors, and what are the concerns?
Word on the street. Well, and he sort of laughs mirthlessly. Well, word on the street is that Blackwater is amazing. The Viceroy is the best ruler we've ever had. If you want rumors, that's something else entirely different. That's something entirely different.
So, well, and the people they believe that, do they?
Yeah, they do. They do.
Okay.
Well, to be fair, it's hard to say anything else, really. Sure, there's the smoke and the industry. The river's not looking good, but otherwise we can't really complain. Well, can't complain now, at least.
All right. And thinking that if someone was to complain, they might not be complaining for very long, if you catch my drift.
I know what you're saying, but it's not really like that. It's well, it's difficult to say, really. It's like you look like a soldier type to me, right?
I've done some mercenary work in my time.
You ever been in a mercenary group or an army where everyone's just sort of looking ahead at something, and even though the situation might not be as good as they think, there's still something that keeps all of them going.
All of them? I've been in places where there's been like that, but an entire regiment all together? No, that's almost unbelievable from my experience.
Well, you're about to have your horizons widened. See, I don't know whether it's the church or whether it's just, the walls, the feeling of safety. Don't know what it is rightly. I don't go to church myself, but there's just something that everyone here is. It's like they're all caught up in a. Well, I don't quite know how to put it, but they all believe in this place, all of them.
Sigmund is having an existential, not crisis, but he's about this information.
Anything else? You're looking for rumors? Well, in terms of rumors, I can tell you that I've got the
dog.
Hey, we've got the street dogs.
Hey, dogs.
Spies for the Viscount.
All right. In any case, rumors. Well, there's the sailor, of course, Blackwater sailor.
This is the serial killer.
The serial killer.
Hey, very soon.
We've heard about that one already.
Do they have any theories about who they are?
Really?
Wouldn't quite know, really. Suppose they might be a old dock worker, old sailor or something.
Why do they call him the sailor?
They call the sailor because every victim is sort of, when they died, they're tied up with a sailor's knot in wherever they were found. That's why they call him that. Well, him. Wouldn't know whether it's a him really, but that's what they say.
About
got
this...
a penchant for the theatrics.
Eh. Quite.
You were saying, Egg?
About this, the sewer system thing we can access from here.
Mm.
Do you think we'd be able to access the campus of the academy through it?
I wouldn't quite know that myself. Used to have a boatsman for that sort of thing, but, well, got eaten in the sewers.
Oh, guess I can't ask him then.
Odd.
Eaten by what?
I went like, no, really. It's not like I went down there to look for his bits.
Well, it might be worth investigating. Maybe. Depends on if we think random guards people are scarier than an unknown man-eating thing.
Well, I mean, I suppose that he's gotten eaten. I suppose I'm not quite sure. In any case, he went down there one time, and I never saw him again.
Oh. Well, we can think on that, I guess.
I'm down for it. Let's have a sewer adventure.
Alright, not yet, Thara, not yet.
Nope, too late. Thyra's opening the trap, but no.
No, we're PATHCO. We beat the meat beneath the stream.
No, we do none of those things.
Any other questions?
Keep your voices down. Can you not hear the Viscount's dogs? See, there it goes again.
Hey. So the bartender sort of makes his move to go back up and says, "My name is Bert Knott, by the way.
Oh,
I
nice to meet you.
Is that Bert not like Bert?
I will. Yes,
Knott?
his first name is Bert. His last name is Knott.
Not what?
Not,
Not Bert.
Not anything really, except for Bert.
I'm so confused.
It's nice to meet you. Thank you for your help.
Well,
This his name is
Sonny.
what?
If I hear any other kind of rumors, I'll let you know whenever I see you. Take care
Okay.
now. And he
Bye.
takes his. Before he goes, he uses his candle to sort of light the candles on the table, and as he has done so, he.
Actually, beds in here or?
Yeah, that's like beds. off to the
I'll
side.
get you the map next time. I can't
Oh,
remember
okay, sweet.
right now, but
But we've got a base. We've got a base for this mission.
Yay.
It's pretty
This is
good.
pretty cool. I like
loving
this.
it.
okay, yeah.
The last time we had a
Okay,
base,
so
it
as-
sank.
And at the moment it is 9, so I think that we are about done for today.
Yeah, that's a good place
You
to leave
guys
off.
having come into your base of operations for this mission, I think that is a good point to leave off.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
down for that. Good game. That was fun.
Yeah, good game.
GG.
Hope I think that this is the last session where I have been doing a lot of explaining, because it's been at this reasonably high pace that you guys have been going through different territories just to get you here. So hopefully at this point you guys will be a lot more free to sort of plan out your
Yeah.
own actions.
Sure. Well, we've kind of got an objective. Yeah, no, good. Like it.
All right, then I think we can sort of start ending the stream.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for joining us.
Yes,
Yes.
indeed.
Bye bye, stream. See you.
Hi, stream.
Boy.